Oh my God. Sophie's a dog. She just is she's a competitor. She's versatile, so she allows us to do different things. Like she plays with such toughness. She's huge and she's going to be for us all season long.
Prices continue their decline without the assistance of the Roo from Waterloo.
The WNBA thought a $400 fine would shut Sophie Cunningham up. Instead, they handed her the biggest win of her entire career. What was meant to be a punishment turned into a $1 million explosion of fame, endorsements, and influence. And at the center of it all, a rookie being targeted, a league trying to ignore it, and one player who decided enough was enough. This wasn't just a foul, this was a statement. Sophie Cunningham didn't just protect Caitlin Clark, she exposed the WNBA's biggest problem and flipped the entire power structure of the league on its head. By the time you finish this video, you'll realize this wasn't just a fight on the court, it was a war for the future of women's basketball. And it all started with one blow, one fine, and one woman the league never saw coming.
You know what, this is just like a breath of fresh air. I'm not kidding. I think it's been day 5, day 6, I don't even know what day it is, to be honest, but it's just everyone's in it for the right reason. Everyone's in it. You have great energy, you have great people, and at the end of the day, everyone's putting aside their agendas and doing what's best for the team. And let me tell you, it is refreshing and everyone's excited to be here.
June 17th, 2025. The Indiana Fever were cruising toward a blowout win against the Connecticut Sun, up 88-71 with under a minute left. The game should have been winding down. Instead, it exploded out of nowhere. JCS Sheldon, a longtime rival from Caitlin Clark's college days, delivered a nasty eye poke. Clark stumbled, stunned. But before anyone could react, Marina Mabry of the Sun escalated it even further, shoving Clark hard to the ground. The refs silent, barely a whistle, just a few light technicals and one flagrant foul that felt more like a formality than a punishment. That's when Sophie Cunningham snapped. With 46 seconds left on the clock, she did what no one else had the guts to do.
So there's a hot topic going on right now. Caitlin Clark says she got cheap shotted against the sky. I mean, throughout the season, she's been getting beat up. Hard screens, elbows, knocked down.
She wrapped up Sheldon with both arms and slammed her to the floor. The crowd went wild. Benches cleared. It wasn't just a foul, it was a statement. A loud, unapologetic message to the league. If you won't protect Caitlin Clark, I will. The WNBA reacted quickly, fining Cunningham $400 and throwing in a vague warning. They figured the story would fade by morning, but they were wrong. That single moment didn't just spark a fight, it ignited a firestorm. Fans rallied behind Cunningham, calling her a hero. Players and coaches weighed in, and the league's long-buried officiating issues were suddenly on full display for the entire world to see.
I just think that's what they were doing in the offseason. They were trying to get winners, people who know how to compete, people who want to win, and put that together with experience, people who have championships. And so when you have that type of combination, and us kind of young bucks, I'm kind of a tweener, and then you have the vets, you know, you're just trying to be a sponge, you're trying to learn, you're trying to be good now, but at the end of the day, you're trying to be the best when it's preseason, right? And so that's why you have those vets, is so you can learn from them. They've been around the game for a really long time, and that's kind of the refreshing part about being on this team, is that everybody wants to learn, and so everyone's dialed in.
Sophie Cunningham didn't just commit a foul, she cracked open a conversation the WNBA had been avoiding for years. And what happened next? Nobody was prepared for. Caitlin Clark isn't just a rookie sensation, she's the heartbeat of the WNBA. But instead of being protected like a franchise player, she's been treated like a punching bag. In her first season alone, Clark was the victim of 12 of the league's 70 flagrant fouls, making up 17% of all egregious contact, despite only playing 40 games. From Dejanay Carrington's eye poke in the playoffs to Kennedy Carter's body check that went viral, Clark's taken hit after hit with little to no response from referees.
I do think that everyone knows that we have something special here. I think a lot of teams have a lot of teams that are special, a lot of rosters that are special, but can you put it together? Can you put aside your agendas? Can you come into work every single day when you're tired, when you're sore, and still get something done and stack the days? And that's what we're doing. Today was tough, you know what I mean? Like, we've been going for a long time. They haven't been, this is not an easy training camp, I'll tell you that, but I think we're gonna be better for it. And I think if you ask anyone, everyone kind of just feels that nice energy.
Fans and commentators have watched in disbelief as the league's brightest star continues to be targeted with almost no protection. The message has been clear: take the hits and keep quiet. But the consequences of that silence hit hard in 2025, when Clark missed a stretch of games due to what many believe was cumulative physical wear and tear. Everything changed. Ratings crashed, viewership dropped, dropped by 55%. Games that averaged nearly 10 million viewers fell below 4.5. According to Sportico, ticket sales dipped over 30% at venues where Clark wasn't playing.
Sometimes you need one of those players on your team. You need one of those enforcers. Every good player, by the way, every good player, every good team that is a super duper star. Most of the time have enforcer type players.
It's no exaggeration to say Clark is the WNBA's biggest asset. She drives record-breaking viewership, fills arenas, and brings in new fans daily. No other player, past or present, has carried this kind of weight so early in their career, and yet the league continues to treat her like she's just another name on the roster. For fans watching this unfold, it's starting to feel like the WNBA is playing a dangerous game, one where they profit off her fame, but fail to protect her from the very hits that could take her out for good. When Caitlin Clark was forced to sit out in June 2025 due to a minor injury.
That's all I see. They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the court.
It wasn't just her team that felt the loss. It was the entire league. Her absence exposed something the WNBA had been trying to downplay for months. Without Clark, the league loses its spotlight. The numbers were immediate and brutal. Viewership for Fever games dropped by more than half, plunging from an average of 9.9 million to under 4.5 million. And that wasn't just a one-time dip. It was a league-wide collapse in momentum. Fans tuned out, buzz disappeared, and suddenly the WNBA didn't feel so exciting anymore.
Like, she needs an enforcer, and if it ain't gonna be me, Michelle Rappaport, like, where is Charlize Oakley? Doesn't her team have like a Zavaria McDaniels or a Rakisha Mahorn? She needs like a goon on her team, because when your star player that's bringing so much money, so much attention to the league, and it's a collective, it's a bunch of them, it's been brewing.
Ticket sales followed the same downward spiral. According to Sportico, attendance at non-Clark games fell by over 30%, especially in markets that had previously been selling out. One week, arenas were packed with signs, cameras, and electricity. The next, empty seats and quiet crowds. This wasn't just a case of missing a player, it was like the WNBA lost its main character, and while LeBron James and Steph Curry were massive stars in the NBA, they shared the spotlight with other icons. Clark doesn't have that luxury. Right now, she is the WNBA's surge in popularity. What makes it even more frustrating for fans is how easily this could have been prevented. Had the league taken her protection seriously, had officials thrown flags, handed out suspensions, and drawn a hard line on dangerous play, Clark might still be on the court every night. Instead, they gambled with their biggest asset, and they lost. Her absence wasn't just a wake-up call, it was a warning. If the WNBA keeps allowing this level of physical punishment without stepping in, they won't just lose a few games, they'll lose the very person keeping them in the headlines. While the league remained quiet and the officials kept swallowing their whistles, one player decided enough was enough. Sophie Cunningham didn't wait for a press conference or a league memo. She made her move right on the court, and she made it loud. Cunningham joined the Indiana Fever in early 2025 after a stint with the Phoenix Mercury. She wasn't a headliner, not yet, but she came in with a reputation. Tough, scrappy, physical. They call her Spicy Sophie for a reason. What fans didn't know, though, was that she also holds a black belt in Taekwondo, a title she earned at just 6 years old. She didn't just play with an edge, she grew up with it. As the hits on Caitlin Clark kept piling up, Cunningham's role shifted from teammate to protector. Game after game, she saw the league's top rookie getting hacked and shoved without so much as a whistle. The referees stayed passive, the league office looked away, and then came the breaking point June 17th against the Connecticut Sun. That was the night JCS Sheldon poked Clark in the eye, igniting a wave of chaos. As Marina Mabrey shoved Clark to the floor, Sophie had seen enough. She charged in, grabbed Sheldon, and drove her to the ground. It was more than retaliation, it was a message. If the refs wouldn't defend Clark, then she would. That single play launched Cunningham into the spotlight. A $400 fine came swiftly from the league, but fans didn't see a villain. They saw a hero. Coach Stephanie White even backed her up publicly, saying it was about time someone stood up. The crowd online exploded. Social media dubbed her Clark's bodyguard. Sports shows finally started asking what the WNBA had been avoiding all season. Why does a teammate have to do the league's job? In that moment, Sophie Cunningham went from bench player to symbol. She wasn't just throwing her weight around, she was throwing down a challenge. Protect your stars, or someone else will do it for you. When the WNBA handed Sophie Cunningham a $400 fine, they thought the situation was settled. Quiet the headlines, move on, and hope people forget. Instead, that $400 became the best investment Sophie Cunningham ever made. Within 48 hours of the incident, her social media exploded. Her Instagram gained over 350,000 new followers. On TikTok, her numbers more than doubled, from 400,000 to 1.2 million. Her name was everywhere. And the best part? She didn't post a single apology. She owned it. Her jersey, completely sold out. Fans flooded the WNBA store, crashing pages and clearing inventory. Reports even stated restocks wouldn't arrive until mid-July. On X, the phrase national treasure trended beside her name. Posts calling her Clark's protector racked up over 1 million views each. And then came the money. Marketing experts estimated that gaining 1 million followers across platforms would typically cost over $1 million in advertising spend. Sophie did it in 2 days. With one foul, brands took notice. Her previous sponsored posts, worth about $10,000 each, suddenly jumped to $20,000 or more. Her partnerships with Adidas and Quest Nutrition were now positioned to skyrocket. Suddenly, a role player had become one of the most marketable athletes in the league. And the irony? The WNBA did that. By failing to protect their biggest star, they created another one. While the league scrambled to contain the PR fallout, Sophie Cunningham was winning. She didn't ask for the spotlight, but when it hit her, she didn't blink. She built a brand on loyalty, toughness, and authenticity, and fans loved her for it. It wasn't just a viral moment, it was a power shift, and all it cost was $400. Sophie Cunningham's foul did more than protect Caitlin Clark. It exposed a league-wide problem that fans had been shouting about for months. The WNBA's officiating is broken. In 2024, Clark led the league in flagrant fouls received, 12 in just 40 games. That's more than stars like Aja Wilson and Brianna Stewart, despite Clark playing fewer minutes. She was constantly hit, shoved, and targeted while officials stood by. The excuses? It's just physical basketball. But even respected voices like Las Vegas Aces coach Becky Hammon had enough. There's too much grabbing, bumping, and fouling that goes uncalled, she said. People are tired of it. She's not wrong. Kennedy Carter's body check barely got upgraded to a flagrant. Jonquel Jones and Alyssa Thomas delivered rough hits with no serious consequences. Meanwhile, the league's top rookie keeps getting up, unprotected, unsupported, and unheard. The issue isn't just bad calls, it's inconsistency, it's favoritism, and it's a growing culture where star players like Clark are left to fend for themselves while the league reaps the benefits of their fame. Sophie's message was simple. If the refs won't act, someone has to, and the WNBA is quickly running out of time to fix it before another player takes matters into their own hands. Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's the entire spotlight. Her presence draws millions of viewers, sells out arenas, and boosts every metric the WNBA tracks. But with that kind of influence comes a deeper truth. The league doesn't just benefit from Clark, it depends on her. In 2024, Clark was responsible for over 50% of the WNBA's most watched games. Of the 21 games that broke 1 million viewers, 18 featured her. ESPN's most covered team? The Indiana Fever. Not because they were dominating, but because Clark was on the roster. The financials back it up. Her Nike deal is worth $28 million, hundreds of times more than her WNBA salary. She's pulling in $11 million in endorsements, dwarfing everyone else in the league, and when she's off the court, ratings tank, ticket sales plummet, and national buzz dries up almost overnight. But here's where it gets tricky. While Clark's fame is skyrocketing, the league seems hesitant to fully embrace her. She's not protected like a franchise player, she's not defended like the superstar she clearly is. And some insiders believe it's because her rise is threatening the old guard. Unlike LeBron or Curry, who shared the spotlight with other legends, Clark is doing it alone. There's no real counterpart, no balancing force. It's her and everyone else. And that imbalance is both her greatest strength and her biggest vulnerability. If the WNBA truly wants to grow, they have to stop pretending Clark is just another rookie. She's the face of the league, and if they don't start treating her like it, they might lose the one person they can't afford to lose. While the WNBA scrambles to figure out how to protect Caitlin Clark without upsetting the league's veterans, Sophie Cunningham is capitalizing on the chaos and turning herself into an unlikely star. What started as a hard foul became a full-blown brand. Cunningham didn't just defend her teammate, she stepped into a spotlight the league didn't expect her to handle. But she didn't just handle it, she owned it. Her jersey sold out within days. Her follower count exploded across every platform. One post about her role in the altercation reached over 1 million views. Another, with her lip-syncing to a Selena Gomez song, went viral. Fans gave her a new title, National Treasure. And with her popularity came opportunity. Sponsored post rates doubled. Endorsement deals grew. Suddenly, she was in the same sales conversation as Aja Wilson, and she did it not by scoring 30 points, but by standing up for someone the league wouldn't. And while the WNBA watched Cunningham rise, they also had to confront the reality that it wasn't their marketing team or a polished PR campaign that made this happen. It was one moment of raw, unapologetic loyalty, but the league is in a tough spot now. Do they embrace Cunningham and the controversy she brings, or do they try to keep control by silencing the players who refuse to play by the script? That's the dilemma, because Sophie's not backing down, and with every viral post, every sold-out jersey, and every quote about protecting Clark, she's gaining something even more powerful than approval. She's gaining loyalty, the kind of loyalty that can't be fined away. Sophie Cunningham's $400 fine wasn't a punishment, it was a message. A single moment that exposed how the WNBA continues to benefit from Caitlin Clark's star power while failing to protect her on the court. Clark has taken more hits than anyone, and the silence from officials has only made it worse. So Sophie stepped in, not with a tweet, but with action. And that one foul flipped the conversation, sparked a movement, and turned her into the enforcer the league didn't know it needed. Now the WNBA faces a choice. Keep ignoring the problem or finally protect the player who's carrying their future. Was Sophie out of line or exactly what the league needed? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more raw stories the mainstream won't cover, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We're just getting started.